Blog Talk Radio.
2017. Big Truth. The big talk for you. What up? Shout out Alvo King. Big Boo. Me. Shout out everybody. Check it. Hey yo, debate talk 4. You so you can absorb. Information free of charge so you can afford. Get poppin'. Live off the greatest doctrine. Sip the juice, know the ledge like the great Rakim. On a mission, not a small time thing. Defense biblical, offense got the haters watching. Hands are skill, footwork is ill. Get in the den, see if you can stand for real. If you rep Kim and Cool, yo, I rep Israel. If you Torah based only or new as well, welcome to listen. Style always fair decision. Two sides come together to compare what's written. Seeking the facts, seeking the math, teaching the acts, leaking the tracks. Call while you eating your snacks. Music in my bones, DNA, C-double-E and K. Little something for the showtime, you can play. One love, one love, one love.
Welcome to the planets of the beats, the Beat Talking Radio.
Peace and shalom. This is Imuna Yisrael from the Sunshine State, and I am tuned into Debate Talk for You, the place where you can get intellectual exchange with no profanity. I love it. One.
Hi, this is Tyrone Thompson, host of the Blog Talk Radio broadcast Talk Real Solutions. Please tune in and listen to all of our shows 7 nights a week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At Talk Real Solutions, we cover a variety of topics to ensure we speak about what may be needed in our community at any time. Talk Real Solutions is the hottest blog talk radio show going on right now. You can listen to our broadcast at www.blogtalkradio.com/talkrealsolutions or visit our website at www.talkrealsolutions.com. Also like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/talkrealsolutions. You can call in at any time during the show and add to the conversation and offer your solutions at 1-858-357-8453. That's 1-858-357-8453. Because at Talk Real Solutions, we want to make sure you have a chance to talk real solutions.
If you need an added push to have your products heard by 1,000 listeners out there, come advertise on Debate Talk for You Radio. All you need to do is send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com, and it's a $25 fee for a whole year to advertise, whether it be a live event, a book signing, merchandise, website, or if you have your own radio show that you'd like to promote. Once again, advertise right here on Debate Talk for You Radio. Take advantage of the low fee. Trust me, no one else will give you such a low fee to advertise via worldwide radio. So once again, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com for more details.
Shalom, Israel. This is Brother Robert, a.k.a. Pastor Nobody, from the Fountain of Israel Bible Studies class. You can find us on thefountainofisrael.com or use the search box on YouTube and type in Fountain of Israel. You can also email us at foibiblestudies@inbox.com. Again, that is foibiblestudies@inbox.com. We believe the whole Bible is the truth and relevant to our lives today. Join us weekly as we feed the flock with the uncut word of God. Matthew 4:4 says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." So until next time, this is Pastor Nobody. Search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Radio.
This is Ronald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 7 of Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and we are back with another classic show for you guys. Well, once again, we are back, and this is the Roundtable Episode 35, family. This is the Roundtable Episode 35, and today's topic is Isaiah 53, a grammatical exegesis from Hebrew text. Hopefully I'm sounding loud and clear. I'm getting some feedback from people that I might sound a little low. Hopefully, Blog Talk Radio is working on that. But I guess we'll find out because I'm going to introduce my special guest. We're supposed to have a stacked card here tonight. We're supposed to have like at least 7 people in the round table today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. About 7 people in the round table today. I see a few of them press number 1. If you're out there and you're a special guest, do me a favor, guys. Press number 1 if you didn't do that already, so we can bring you with the conversation. All right, so let me introduce the people that's already pressed number 1. My first special guest, actually, he reached out to me and wanted to set this round table up. And like I said, we appreciate the brother. You know, the brother reached out maybe 1 or 2 months ago, wanted to put this show together. This is Pinkney. Welcome to the show.
Hey, shalom. Good evening. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How do I sound in the audio? Do I sound loud and clear? Do I sound low? How do I sound?
Oh, you sound loud and clear.
All right, that's cool. All right, so for the listeners out there for the first time, let them know a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Pinkney Salisbury Jr., a firefighter in the Boston area. I've been studying Hebrew, classical Hebrew, now for 9 months. And along on the round table are a gentleman and one lady, as soon as she gets on, who've been in various ranges of time studying. So what we wanted to do was give you an idea of where you might be at a certain time period if you start studying classical Hebrew, maybe from day 1 all the way up to around 20 years. On the line with me now is Brother Yediyahu Israel. I believe he's been studying 2 years. You want to introduce yourself?
About 2.5 years. This is Robert. And I've been studying classical Hebrew about 2.5 years now.
We got hopefully Yochanon Ben Israel on the line, J.G. Peele, Daniel Ben-Yaaqob. I'm not sure how many years he's been studying. Mitzil, and the young lady Felicia M., who started 2 weeks ago. We had something called the Ruth Project, where Mitzil, our teacher, teaches classical Hebrew from the Aleph Bet all the way to be able to parse, root, and render a verse and read and recognize morphology, phonology, syntax, and apposition. So, did you see anybody else on the line so they could introduce themselves as well? Shalom.
Yeah, I see a few people that press number 1. Let me see let me see if this is. All right, we have a 919-824. Introduce yourself.
Shalom. This is Yochanon Ben Israel. I'm nobody special. I always try to keep it that way. Not to try to blow myself up or anything like that. But just as Pinkney had said, me and Pinkney actually started at the same time. We got 9 months in with Biblical Hebrew, and it would be great to get the rest of people who identify themselves as Israelites, pretty much anyone that reads the Tanakh, to study classical Hebrew. We're also called Biblical Hebrew, so they can better understand the text. And maybe those things that they feel like they're deep hidden meanings in the text. Really, the only way to find out is to read it in the language of attestation.
All right, well, we definitely appreciate you coming on the panel. We got another brother that's supposed to be here. Let's go to 919-599. Introduce yourself to the world. Who are we speaking to?
Hey, this is Akeem Shayl. Hey, Twitter Rabbi Sal for being on your show, me and the Paradigm crew. Twitter y'all for the opportunity to exegesis Isaiah 53. I definitely pray the audience listens, but definitely get something out of what we present tonight. And I'm out of Durham, North Carolina.
All right, so right now we're just going to waiting for everybody else to press number 1. Guys, if you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, that's supposed to be on the panel, do me a favor, please press number 1 because we have a lot of listeners tuning into the show. So and I already got a list of numbers that my brother sent. I don't see them, but there's a lot of people on the phone line. So again, if you're supposed to be a part of this panel, just press number 1 on your phone line, or if you're on Skype, press number 1, and then we'll bring you in the conversation. But what I'm gonna do is, as they call in and press number 1, I'll bring them all. I'll bring them in. But we can get this thing started. Pinkney, you want to start it off and set it up? That.
Yes. Can you hear me?
You're loud and clear. You good?
Okay. So we could start off with some explanation on. It's called the Ben-Yaaqob system, or verb conjugation. We have a chart of 7 conjugations listed that helps you to determine what action is being done or what action is being received by someone or something. This is just to kind of get people acquainted with what they will hear tonight. The simple action is called a call, spelled K-A-L. It's a simple action of maybe you hitting something, someone doing something to something else. The next binyan is called a nifal. Now, the nifal is what's being acted upon. So if you hit a book, you are doing the call action. The book is the nifal receiving the action. The next binyan is the Peele. The Peele is an intensive active. That'd be like I'm striking the book. And the next binyan is a pu'al. The pu'al is the book being struck. So it's receiving the action intensively. So those are intensive active. We have a hifil. Hifil is the causative binyan. If a person causes an action, they may not have done it purposely, but they are the cause of it. Let's say you are walking by your table, and on your table is a hot cup of tea, You bump your table, and it causes the hot tea to fall and the mug to break. So that would be a hip fall, a causative, active. Next is the whole fall. And the whole fall would be the cup that fell. It was caused to fall, and it was caused to break. But you didn't do it purposely. It was inadvertently. Next is the hith pa'el. The hith pa'el is an active done towards yourself. You pinch yourself, you hit yourself, you do something to yourself. That's a hith pa'el. And in each of these binyans, there's also a person, please, the person, gender, and number. So the first one is a three masculine singular, or third person masculine singular. That would be an equivalent to he or it. So again, we can start with the example of he hit me. That would be a 3MS, a third masculine singular, that did that to me. For the nifal, the 3MS would be I hit him. Or also, it can also be for a person that's not readily available, so you're telling the story, and so on and so forth with the rest of the binyaneems. Next would be third feminine singular, which pretty much is the same, but a feminine aspect. Second person would be you. So that would be like saying you hit me. And that is second, and the gender would be masculine singular, which is a male singular. After that is 2FS, second person feminine singular, which is also you. We also have first common singular. Now, first common singular is the first person. First person is I or me. It would equate to I am doing something, all the way down the Benjamin chart. Next is third common person, plural. Third common plural. It's a third person in plurality. That would mean they or them. The next number gender is second masculine plural. So it still is rendered as you, but is you to an audience. Now, when you use this second masculine plural, it could be for a mixed audience. It's always rendered as male plural. Now, if you have the second feminine plural, that means specifically it's a group of females you're speaking to, and it's you. Even though you is singular, it still signifies you speaking to multiple people. Last but not least is first common plural. So that would be we or us. It's just equivalent to a group of people talking about themselves. Now, there's two tenses, perfect and imperfect. Perfect is used for a completed action, mostly, and imperfect is for an action that has not been completed. Usually to indicate an imperfect, you have prefixes. The 3MS is a yod, third feminine singular, and second masculine singular are towels. Also, second feminine singular is a towel. Your first common singular, aleph, Third masculine plural is a yod as well. Third feminine plural is a tau. Second masculine plural is a tau. Second feminine plural is a tau. And first common plural is a noon. Now, mostly people try to memorize these charts. I mean, it's kind of, well, it's very difficult. What we've been taught usually is repetition. Constantly parsing, rooting, rendering verses, using the chart, and encoding the information as you go. I mean, with anything with more frequency, the result is you remembering these things. I mean, you don't remember them all the time, but don't be, try not to be afraid to use resources. That's what they're there for. Not just the charts, people. I mean, we'll make ourselves available to almost anyone. So I wanted to see if anybody would like to add to that. Maybe move to the imperatives and participles. Would you like to expound on that, Yahoo? Or Yochanon?
Yeah, I mean, we can. You've been through pretty much the actual system of conjugating the verbs. I mean, really, the main thing to point out. Also, if I can piggyback on that, if you actually read the words, they rhyme. The vowel patterns of the words are the same. So as far as like figuring out whether something is a call or a nifal, pl, pual, etc. For the actual word on the Binyan chart, the first word is katal. The word call goes along with it. In order to put that into the nifal stem, it's niktal. If you notice, nifal, niktal, so forth and so on. When you go through all of them in the strong verb category, of course there are some that deviate away from that. And then when you actually start getting into prefixes, suffixes, infixes, assimilation and whatnot, those things change. But for the most part, basic reading, that's the known pattern for verbs. You also have under the imperfect, you have the perfect and the imperfect tenses. You also have the imperative category. The imperative category, these are like strong wishes or commands. And these, they actually, these deal more with suffixes, with putting suffixes on the end as far as in the call chart. So you have, and changing of the vowel patterns. It would be great, I guess, if anybody, I actually just shared it on Facebook, if anybody would actually like to see the chart, because to have it in front of you would actually make it, would definitely make it come to life a little bit more versus us just talking about it before getting into it. But yeah, you can actually notice, in the 2MS, it starts with the first root radical, or the first character in the root. It's still the base word was katal. That was the call, third masculine singular. That's the basic form. When it gets to an imperative 2MS, which there is no 3MS or 3FS in the imperative, because it's something that the individual is telling directly to another individual because of a command or strong wish. You have a shua, and a cholim, as far as your vowel sound. So it's ketol. As the 2FS in the call, you have a chirik under the top kuf, and you have a shua under the tet, and you have a chirik yod at the end. So you have kitli. For the second masculine plural under the for imperative under the call, you still have the chirik and the shua under the first two characters, and you have the lamed and a shuruk. The shuruk makes the u sound. So you have kitlu. For the second feminine plural, you have the shua under the kof, and you have a I'm sorry, I can't hardly see this. You have a colon over the tet and shwa under the lama, and it also has the nun, hamat, hey suffix. So you get ket lena. So yeah, I mean it's pretty much by Hebrew works by the ways that the word sounds, which is another reason why we oftentimes, if you see us online having fun and we're debating or whatever, it's when the people who read what they call the Lashon HaKodesh, we do it in all fun and jokes. I mean, we don't hate anybody, but that's why the language doesn't function, because you're only dealing with A-class vowels, so the language itself doesn't function. There's no way for you to know whether something is an imperative or infinitive construct, infinitive absolute, whether it's perfect, imperfect, and oftentimes to know whether it's a hitpael or an ifal, so forth and so on. So this is what we're trying to get our people back to dealing with, getting to a scholarly level versus dealing with oftentimes with conspiracy theories and things that are not, that we ourselves can't prove. Now, that's not to knock any brothers on the line or to stir up hate towards anyone, but that's just a stone cold fact. Biblical, classical Hebrew we read is well attested throughout history, which is why we push for it so hard. There is no attestation for Lashon HaKodesh. So, but with that, because I don't want to get off on a rant, if someone else wants to do the next ones, or whether we're ready for the reading, if everyone is on, we can definitely get into it.
Yeah, maybe we could hear from
can you hear me?
Elder Shayl.
Hello?
Oh, who's that?
Can you hear me? JG Peele.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is JG Peele, on Facebook. I've been studying biblical Hebrew for like 5 years, and I can definitely see the growth of the brothers, on the panel, and how much they develop in learning the language, especially because it's a barrier. It's, false information that's being pushed that's calling it Yiddish, saying that it don't have any vowels and they use all A-class vowels. And that, it discourages people from actually learning how to read the text. Because if you say that, okay, I'm a Hebrew and I'm going to follow Hebrew law, then you must know what it says. All right? And we've been taught that, English translation is good enough. All right? English translation is good enough. Well, actually it's not, because if somebody can actually read from the Hebrew text, we can see the inconsistencies, we can see the errors inside the text. And this is also, a point that we will bring out, on Isaiah 53. So people can compare it and see that, it's not saying the same thing. Most of the time you get the wrong idea and the wrong, misconception about it. So, but that's just me. I'm definitely can see the growth and, of the brothers on the panel, and I definitely appreciate their work, towards literacy. All right. That's it for now.
Any input, Shayl?
Oh yeah, definitely. From my background studying what I thought was Hebrew at one time, the Lashon HaKodesh for like 15 years, and so I had a student, our teacher, came to my home one Friday night, and I was saying, "Call for the Torah, Hashemah Tazawah," and the brother looked at me, the guy was crazy. I'm like, "Why the hell is the brother looking at me like that?" But long story short, studied biblical Hebrew for the last 2 years with the Paradigm crew under our teacher, Mitzil. And so definitely it helps in understanding what the text is saying, verb, subject, object. You just can't just put anybody in the text to fit your doctrine or fit your beliefs. So at Biblical Hebrew, the Paradigm crew, we let the text speak for itself. We don't add to the word, take away from the word. So at this point, I'm a decrease.
One more thing I wanted to go over is you may hear us mention this also as we parse and root, showing you, how words change to fit a certain instance of. It's called a pronominal suffix. Now, pronominal suffixes are attached to nouns or verbs, also to indicate a person and gender and a number of persons, being he, she, me, us, I, or it. So you hear this throughout the night. We'll hear second person pronominal suffix, meaning you or your. So we'll start with maybe one of the easier ones. Well, they're all pretty easy if you know them. Let me just make sure I get my stuff together here. So we're hoping that anyone listening would call with any questions on classical Hebrew, how it actually differentiates from Yiddish or modern Hebrew or Ladino or a host of languages that may use the Aramaic block script. Because they just use the script more so, or exactly like how Spanish, French, English, German uses Latin or Roman script that you write with today. I mean, that doesn't make English Spanish or Spanish German or German Dutch. And just learning some of the differences will hopefully help dispel what people have been taught or discouraged from learning. All right, so let's start with the first person. Usually a yod at the end of the word indicates the first person. That would be the first person common pronominal suffix, which would mean I or me or my. It goes with a genitive. The genitive is just saying construct state of a noun with belonging, possession. So it would be say is the word horse, sus. So if it's a male horse, it's susi, and that would be my horse. The second masculine singular would be kaf, sofi, with kamat. Now, kamat is it's funny. A class vowel. It looks like a little T, and you'll see it in inside the kaf sofit, and it looks like a upside down L with the A in it. With a T in it, and that would be your horse. Your horse female would be with the kaf sofit with the siret. Oh, that's a schwa. With the schwa, 2 dots, not horizontal, the long way. And you have, after that, the third masculine plural, which is a wa. Usually a wa, hello, holem. Using the same noun, I started with horse. That'd be suso. And the pronominal suffix for third feminine singular would the hey with the kamat on the third root radical. And that would be susa. So my horse is susi. Your horse, talking to a male, you is suska. Your horse talking to a female is suske. His horse, suso, and her horse, susa. So you hear us talking about, or expressing and explaining that this is a pronominal suffix. So what I'm also going to try to do is go Facebook Live while we read. So whoever is on here that are friends of mine, it'll be up soon. I would tag anybody that's interested to learn, and I will be pointing out every time you hear one of the speakers parse out what verse they're assigned. So you can get an idea how it looks. You'll hear the sound, and at the same time, see it all come together. Is someone going to say something? I think Daniel Ben-Yaaqob is in. Can you look for him, Sal? I think it's showing up as a 800 number. I'm not sure. You there, Sal? Did we lose you? Did we lose Sal?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sal, you there?
We lost Sal, man.
Because we lost Sal, he's the host. Wouldn't the show drop?
Yeah, unless we just hanging out and talking to each other, man.
We do that all the time anyway. So nerds sitting around parsing verses. Is everyone on? Because probably be a while to get ready to start moving forward with the actual verse. So we can get to Isaiah 53.
Yeah, I'm still on, but
did you?
I'm still on.
I don't know. Yo, if you press, did you press one already? He texted me. Yeah, we can set it off. I mean, we could do the reading definitely, so everybody can hear, the range of years experience, where they might be at that certain point in their classical Hebrew learning career.
Right. So is everyone on? Is everyone on so we can actually do the reading?
We got Yochanon.
Yeah, that's right. I know we have Brother Daniel Ben-Yaaqob on the line. He's here with us right now. Say hello, Daniel Ben-Yaaqob.
Yeah, I'm on.
We need an introduction of you and your lifestyle, player.
Most people know a lot about me and my lifestyle. I'm gonna just real briefly, I've been on this walk since, or on this journey rather, since 1996, and I've evolved a whole lot since then. I'm known as a moray, but I'm a student. I identify with being a student, and I'm just continuing to evolve. Many people know me from Facebook, YouTube, and as the years pass, over time I, began to embark on this journey of biblical Hebrew, and I've been at it, for about 2 years. I haven't been able to study the way I want to, but I've been experiencing a tremendous amount of growth, and it's helped to enhance my understanding of the biblical text a great deal. And with that, I'd also like to say I'm just glad to be on the show and glad to be in the company of well-learned brothers who are like-minded. And I appreciate all the brothers that are on the panel today, and all the guests, rather. And I also want to send a shout-out to the Hebrew extraordinaire and instructor, Mitzil, because the Most High is working with him to help brothers such as like ourselves to grow in understanding and actually learn how to read the text in its original tongue. And I'll leave off with that.
right. Once again, people, you know that number, 319-527-6239. I see we have one or two people that press number 1. We're going to bring y'all in a little later on, but I'm still looking for a few of the other special guests supposed to be joining us. So we're going to continue with the dialogue. Pinkney, you got it.
All right, so in this reading, what we're doing is an experiment where, when you have an experiment, it's a sterile area. We're taking this excerpt out of the Bible, theoretically, and we're not attaching any preconception of anything, of who this person is, what we're talking about. We're just parsing it as strictly literature. There is no someone to come, someone that was, this guy or that guy. This is strictly linguistical, and this is what it is. Because we didn't want, we don't really want to ruffle any feathers on this side or that. We just want to give you the text as it is. So everybody is ready for the assignment. We were still waiting for Mitzil. Have you seen his numbers, Sal? Just to be before we start.
Yeah, I'm still going through. Yeah, I'm still going through the numbers. I'm trying to find them. I'm still going through them.
All right. I don't know if he's listening, but if he is, just text somebody. Let them know you're on the line.
Yeah, if you're out there, anybody that's supposed to be joining the panel, once you dial that number, you got to press number 1 on your phone. Let's press number 1, and that'll let me know that you're here. To be to join this panel. All right, go ahead.
All right. So, I'm going to start with Isaiah 52, 13, 14, and 15. That's where the suffering servant starts. We'll be removing it from the text, theoretically, so to say. So, what I'm going to do also is try and go live on Facebook at the same time, do a simulcast, so other people can actually see me go through it, see me make some mistakes maybe, because this is more so about not being polished, but, letting people know that might have some apprehension about learning the language, that, that we're human too, and it's okay to make the mistakes, but, to keep forging ahead. Let me try to find my live button. Not there.
Also, what you could do is send me that link so I can spread it myself in my inbox. Send me that link.
Oh, okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna start reading because I don't want to delay any. All right, 52:13. Isaiah 52:13. We have Hine Yisikal Abade Yarum Wanisa Wagaba Mod. And that's the end of 13. 14. Ka'ashir Shamamu Aleka Rabim in Misach Miish Ma'ara Ehu Wato Aro Me Bene Adom. Verse 15. In Yaze Goyim Rabim Alav Yik Ezu Alakim Ehem I Ashir Lo Supar Lahem Rau Wa Ashir Lo Shameu Etebonanu. That was 15, and that ends that section. So next would be, I believe, Brother Shayl 1 and 2.
Okay.
Hey, if I
Fine.
can interject, everybody, if I can interject really quick for everybody listening, this is actually, he's reading through it. He's showing the progression of all of us. We're not just going to read in Hebrew. We're actually going to go back and break these down so that you understand them. I just wanted the listeners to know. Sleep.
Thank you.
Fine. The book of Shayl, Isaiah chapter 53, starting at verse 1. Mahi imen lishmu etenu uzra'a yohewahe almai nignata. Verse 2. Waya'al kayonik li faneb. Wikashores mi eret zaya lo to all lo we lo hadar we near ihu we lo ma'e we nek mi dihu. That's verse 2.
All right, I'm picking verse 4. Nibze wa chadel ishim ish mekabot vidua choli wu kemas anim memenu nibze wa lo chashab nahu okin halayenu hu so wu mekobenu sebolon wa anahnu chashabnahu magua Muke Elohim Wu Mehane. That was the end of 4.
All right, I'll go ahead and read 5. Wehu mecholal misha'anu meduka me'awono tenu mushar shilo memu. Alayo ubaha barato nirpalanu kula chazon ta'inu isle darko paninu weyawe hibgia bo'et awon kulanu. That's verse 5 and 6.
All right, cool. I've got verse 7 and 8. Haniga wehu ne'ani welo Ita più che l'erba yubal uchrahel dipne gozez slika gozeha ne'elma velo ita più meozer mispat lucha weat doro mi yesohea ki nigzar meres haim or chaim mipsa aimi nega elamo. That's in verse 8.
All right, I got verse 9.
So, we're on the show, and I'd like to go live so you can see how it's all going down simultaneously. Hopefully you do enjoy as we go forward.
You ready for verse 9? Okay. Wayenetan et rasamim kivro wa et asher b'mota alo Hamas asa walo Adma Kesia. Verse 10. Hashem Yod Wahe. Hafet Dikyo Hekli Im Tasaim Asam Nefesho Yarea Zera Yarech Yamim Wahefet Yorhe Wahe Beyado Yetzlach. I think Mitch has verse 11 and 12, right?
Yeah, is Mitch on?
Nah.
You guys want to split it up? Someone do 11, someone do 12?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right.
You want me to? I'll continue on with 11 if you want.
All right, that sounds good.
All right. Me'am nefsho yare yeshba bedato yet dim dedik abdo la radvim wa al notam fu yesba.
All right, I'll do 12. Lakin achelek lo barabim waed adzumim yichalek shalal tachat asher ha'ezra lamet nafisho waed Ashaim Namana. That's Nimna. Wahu Hota Rabim Nasa Walla Ashaim Yaf Gia. That Ain's always kills me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start the parsing. Anybody that's watching, we're doing Isaiah 52:13. The first word, hine, is called a demonstrative participle. It's pretty much an exclamation of saying to behold or look, as a lot of the verses start with. So that would be behold. Next one is yisakil. It's a root, is a verb. Sakal means to be prudent. This is a hifil, third masculine singular imperfect. If you remember, the hifil is causative. Third person is he or it. Masculine singular is a single he or it, and imperfect. And that's which is not a completed act. So he shall be prudent. Abed, now masculine genitive construct of abed, which is servant or slave, and with a first person common singular pronominal suffix, the yod, if you remember that, which is I, me, or my, and is rendered my servant. Next is yerum. Yerum is a verb. The root is resh, wow, mem sofit, which means exalted. It is in the Kabyan, third person masculine singular imperfect. He shall be exalted, or he shall be made high. The next word is wanisa. The wa is conjunction meaning and. So we have wa conjunction right here, meaning and. Nisa is a verb root. Actually the same nisa, but the pointing is different, and it means to lift, carry, or take. This one is a nifal, third masculine singular, perfect. The first noon radical is assimilated by the nifal noon verb first root radical, and a dogish is added to the shawa right here. That's a little dot, and it tells you that there was an assimilation, and it is compensating for that lost grapheme, or I would say letter. So you have second root radical compensatory lengthening. All that to say, he was taking and rendered. And he was taken and he was elevated. Or he was taken. And the next one is why gaba. Why gaba? It's a verb called third masculine singular perfect, to be exalted, with the wa cursive in the beginning, and is rendered and exalted. Seventh word, and the last one is mod, noun masculine meaning muchness, force, abundance, or exceedingly. And I have that rendered. Now the rendered isn't really exact, as you might have seen through different translations. They all convey a different rendering. Is how I guess you put it together in that position. So I have, behold, my servant, he shall be prudent, he shall be exalted and elevated exceedingly. I also have the next two, 14 and 15. They're not really too long. The first word, ka'ashir, is a conjunction, according as, when, according to, that which. I have it rendered as accordingly. The second word, shemam, is a stative, geminate, a verb root of shemam. Stative verb is a verb of feeling, or how you felt about something. I was angry, or I felt this, or I felt that. It's not an actual action verb. Geminative means a verb with two of the same graphemes. Here it's mem. They don't look alike because this is a mem sofit. It changes one of five graphemes that changes at the end of a word. As you see, wherever it's conjugated, it's the same grapheme, a mem and a mem. So it's a call, third common, plural, perfect, rendered. They were flabbergasted. I kind of like that word. The next word, eleka. Eleka. So we have preposition on, upon, against, or over with the second masculine pronominal suffix. This is the kaf sofit I was explaining to you about with the kamat in the end of it. It looks like a little T. I have it as rendered at your, or it can be rendered on you, on your, upon you, or your, but I have it as at. Next word, rabim, adjective, numerous, much or many. The next word is ken, which is an adverb, as so, or thus, or has just been, or is now to be. Also, it is, if you, some people say con, but ken is also an agreement, saying yes. What we have next is Mishhat, men mishhat. So the men is inseparable preposition. That would be this right here. Inseparable preposition. The noon is assimilated. That means it disappears, and it's just left with the mem shirik. We also have a noun masculine for. It means disfigurement of face or marred face. The root is shahat. To ruin, marred face, disfigurement, rendered marred face. Your seventh word here is meish. We have an inseparable preposition, men. Okay. That means from. Noon, of course, again, is assimilated. And the nikud, or the pointing, is heightened to a city due to the rejection of what's called a doubling doggish. It's just a dot that you put in a grapheme to signify that you're doubling the word. One example that you might know of is Hashemayim. There are two S's, but you might, two shins, and you only see one. And noun masculine, man or person, I have it rendered more than anyone because of the mem of it. Eighth word, marehu, sight or appearance. It's a noun masculine with a third masculine singular suffix, wo, shurik, meaning his appearance. Ninth word, utu'aru, conjunction, wo conjunction, which is and. Ta'ar is a noun masculine form, which means form, and we have a third masculine pronominal suffix, wo, which is he or his, rendering his form. Next is the mebene, mi bene. Have a men, inseparable preposition with nun safid assimilated, which means from. Noun plural genitive construct of ben, which is sons, and this is rendered sons of or children of. Next is Adam, mankind, and I have it rendered as many were flabbergasted at your face, so marred more than anyone, his appearance and his form more than any sons of mankind. So that's to give an idea. Things are. I think we have Mitzil on the line. Would you mind checking, Sal?
Yeah, April. Shema.
Shalom, word.
April.
All right. So next is 5215. We have Ken. Ken again. So Yazir. From the root is Khalid. Ifil, third masculine. Singular imperfect. Caused to be flabbergasted. I actually changed that one, but we'll go ahead. Word, goyim, noun masculine construct, absolute plural of goy, nation of people, rendered nations. Rabim, we did that already, numerous or many. It's in plural form in agreement with goyim. We have allow, it's a pronominal suffix attached to a preposition to him. Simple, draw together, third call third masculine, plural, they shall shut. Malik, noun masculine, plural of Malek, king or ruler. It would be absolute plural, meaning kings or rulers. Him, mouth, in construct, absolute plural form, rendered mouths. Ki is a conjunction. Shir is a relative pronoun. Who, which, or that. Lo supar is a construct. Lo is a negative participle, meaning no, not, or never. Supara, the verb, is count or recount, relate, is a pual, third masculine, singular, imperfect, rendered be regarded. The fourth word is lohem, the inseparable preposition with the meaning two or four with the third person plural masculine pronominal suffix meaning they or them. Ra'u, the verb is resh, aleph, hey, which means see, call, 3PC, plural, perfect, they seen. Ashir is and who, that, or which. Lo, shemo, lo, negative, participle, no, not, or never. Shemu, the root is shema, to hear. That's rendered, they heard. And the last is tif, punam. It's a verb, the root is ben, abin. But discern or consider, perceive. That's a hit pile. First common, plural, perfect, rendered, we contemplated. And I have it rendered, so it shall cause a surprise to many nations. The king shall shut their mouths at him who they seen was not regarded, and that they have not heard, we contemplated. So now we're on to 53:1.
The book of Shayl, Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1. This is okay, Shayl reads. Mahi imin lisma ete nu usra'a yohe wahe al my niglata. The first word is an interrogative pronoun, whom. Then you have the word mean, come from the Hifil, perfect 3MS, who calls to believe. From the root, out of menun. Then you have the next word, lismo etenu. That's a noun feminine singular with the separate preposition, with the first common plural pronominal suffix, root shem, shin, mem, in, to hear or report. The next word you have for arm, uzurua, is a noun masculine singular with a walking conversant, and that would be arm. The next word you have is yod hey wahe, Yahweh. Come from the Hifil, third masculine singular, imperfect. From the root, hey wo hey, meaning it should cause to exist. The next word you have is alma. You have a separate preposition with the interrogative pronoun, other word, to whom. The next word you have is the word niglata. It comes from the nifal, perfect 3FS, passive, has been revealed from the root, gamel, lamet, hey. In that first reading of the book of Shayl, Isaiah chapter 53:1, whom he calls to believe, to hear our report, and the arm of Yohe, to whom it has been revealed, past tense. Okay, so Nifal This is also used in the past tense in this congregation right here, Isaiah 53:1. Now, my second read of Isaiah chapter 53, verse 2, it reads, on this matter, Waya'al kayanek, leave anab, we kashoresh, mi etz, zayah, lo tu lo, we lo hada, we no ihu, we lo ma'e, we nek mi duhu. Okay, now the first word we have is a call imperfect, 3ms with a walk conversive, and me, he grew up. Next word we have is connect. That's a separate preposition, noun masculine singular, like a tender shoot. And the next word we have leipana, in separate preposition, noun masculine plural with pronominal suffix, 3ms, before what? Him. From the root, hey, noon, hey. The next word we have is resh. That would be the word like. Then we have a several preposition with a walk conversive, noun, masculine, like, and like a root. From the sharist, from the root, shin, resh, shin. The next word we have is from land or earth. But we have a separate preposition, noun, feminine, singular, that'll be from the earth. And your root there is Aleph, Resh, Zadi. Okay? Now, your next word here is the word we have for what? Desert. So the word desert is Zadi, Yod, Hey. And that's a noun, feminine, what? Singular, and that would be for what? Desert. The next word we have is foam, lo to r. Okay, we have a negation, participle, noun, masculine, singular, not a foam, idiom. Idiom is the style of what? Speech. Okay, our next word we have is to him. We have a lamet, and we have a colon woe. That's in separate preposition with a pronominal suffix, 3ms. Okay? And the next word we have is, where I'm at, negation participle, walk conversive, noun masculine, what, to what? Honor. That's hey, dalet, resh. That'll be the word honor. Some might see it as rendered as majestic. Okay? And the next word we have, and we look at him, we near Ahu. That's a calling perfect, first common plural with a pronominal suffix, 3ms. Okay, from the root, resh, aleph, hey. Okay? And the next word we have, walo ma'ah. That's the word you have, and not in appearance. That's a negation participle, noun masculine with a walk conversive. Okay? And that root is resh, aleph, hey. The last and final word is wanik madehu. That's a calling perfect, first common plural, pronominal suffix, 3ms, and that we desire what, and we desire him. From the root, ket mem dalet. So the translation, and he grew up before him, Israel, as like a tender plant, and like a root from the earth, desert. He had no form to him, Israel, and no honor, and that we, the nations, look at him, /Israel, and not his appearance, that we, the nations, would desire him, /Israel. All right. So break down Isaiah 53:1 in verses 2 and 53 and 2.
All right. 3. First word is nibzeh. Hey, and this means nice one.
Yeah, you breaking down.
breaking up.
How much were you able to hear?
Not.
Am I still breaking up now?
Yeah. No, you're good now. Would you move your phone around or you put some aluminum foil on it?
Did everyone hear the first word right? Or good, rather?
Start over.
All right, the first word in the third verse is nibzeh, and this is a verb, nifal, masculine singular passive participle, the root betzin hey, meaning a despised one. Second word, wahadal, adjective, construct from the root het dalet lamet, meaning avoided. Third word is ishim. This is a noun masculine plural, root aleph yod shin, meaning men. Fourth word, ish, noun masculine singular, root aleph yod shin, meaning a man. Fifth word, mechobot. This is a noun masculine plural, construct, root kaf aleph bait, meaning pains. Sixth word is widua, and this is a call, masculine singular passive participle, construct with o conjunction prefix, root yod dalet ayin, meaning and experienced one. Seventh word, chalik, noun masculine, root het lamed hey. Eighth word, master, vifil, masculine singular, active participle with the wo conjunction prefix and an inseparable preposition.
Hey, jiggle that wire, man.
What was that?
Hey, you're starting to break up again.
I think I have bad signal in here. Is it better now?
Oh yeah, that's it.
All right. Root is stomach, meaning and light one that causes hiding. Ninth word, ponim, noun masculine plural, root pay nun hey. Faces. Tenth word, momentum, preposition from the root men or memun with the first person masculine plural pronominal objective suffix, meaning away from him. 11th word, nibzeh, nifal, masculine singular, passive participle, root betzin hey, meaning a despised one. 12th word, welo, and this is a particle of negation with the wo conjunction prefix, meaning and or not. 13th word, hashabnahu. This is a call, third person masculine plural, with third person masculine singular objective suffix, root hutching bet, meaning we respected him. Put now together, we get a despised one, and a void of men, a man of pains, and an experienced one. And the cause faces, despised one, and we respected him not. Next, we're going to the fourth verse. First word is alkane, adverb meaning surely. Second word, haloyenu, noun masculine construct with the first person common plural, possessive suffix, root het lamed hey, meaning sickness of ours or our sickness. Third word, hua. This is a pronoun, third person masculine singular, meaning he or it. Fourth word, nosa, call, third person masculine singular perfect, root nun sin aleph. And this means he lifted or he carried. Fifth word, mak obena. And this is a hitfill, active participle with the woken versus prefix. First person common plural, pronominal object suffix, root kaf bait, meaning our pains. Sabalam, this is a call, third person masculine plural. Perfect, root. Samic, bet lamet, meaning he carried them. Seventh word, wa'anachnu, this is a pronoun, first person coming plural, meaning we. Eighth word, hashabnahu, and this is a call, third person. Third person masculine plural, with third person masculine singular, pronominal object, suffix, root, bet, meaning we respected him. Ninth word, nalua, and this is a call, masculine singular, passive participle, root, nun gimel ein, meaning stricken. 10th word, muke, and this is the whole form, masculine singular, passive participle, root, nun kaf hey, punished. 11th word, Elohim, this is a noun. We can translate that as deity. 12th word, and this is a pool, masculine singular, passive participle, meaning and degraded and humiliated. Put that all together, we have surely our sickness he carried and our pains he carried them. We respected him stricken, punished by Elohim, and humiliated.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we got you, man.
Hello? Okay. All right. So verse 5, we got wehu, conjunction, wav, with the pronoun he. So it's like and he, mecholal, is like impaled. Miv sha'anu is a noun masculine plural, first person pronominal suffix with the preposition mem. Let me say, I guess you could say from our rebellion. Miduka is a pual, passive participle, masculine singular. He was crushed of the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Oh, okay. Like he was crushed of the testicles. I got. Let me see. What's the next one? Okay. I will nate. I'm sorry. I will netenu. All right. Now with the plural first person, common pronominal suffix with preposition mem. From our iniquity. The sixth word is let me see. Musher is now masculine from discipline. We have shalomenu, noun with the plural first person common pronominal suffix, our completeness. Aleo, preposition with the singular third person masculine pronominal suffix, upon him. Let me see. The next one is Wubecha Barato, conjunction wild with the third person masculine singular pronominal suffix, and by his stripe. The next word is Nirpa. It's a nifal, third masculine singular from the root rapa, to meaning like he or it was held. The next word is Lanu, preposition lamed with the plural first person common pronominal suffix for us. Translation, and he was impelled from our rebellion, and he was crushed of the testicles from our iniquity. Discipline of our completeness upon him, and by his stripe it was healed for us. It was healing for us, or whatever you want to translate that. Verse 6, we got Kulanu, now with the plural first person common pronominal suffix. I guess you could say like all of us. Chazon is a noun with the preposition kaf, like the sheep. Ta'inu, call perfect first common plural with the pronominal suffix. We have wondered. The fourth is ish, man. Ladarko, noun with the third person masculine singular pronominal suffix with the preposition lamed, to his way. 6, Penino, called first common plural, I guess, something like that. We have turned. The seventh is we Yahweh. Yahweh is a Hifil. Hifil imperfect third masculine singular. It shall cause to exist, and it shall cause to exist. The eighth word is a Hifgia. Is a Hifil perfect third person masculine singular. He caused to meet. The next word is bo. I guess it's like in him or him. 10th is eight. Direct object marker. The next word is awon, iniquity. And the next one is kulanu, like all of us, something like that. Translation, all of us, like the sheep, we have wandered. Man to his way we have turned, and it shall cause to exist. It caused to meet him. All right. I guess next is verse 7 and verse 8. Whoever got that.
Shalom, Yochanon, Israel. All right, I'm going to change this up a little bit because the verse, as you start getting further into Isaiah 53, what starts happening or things start jumping out that are controversial. So I'm actually going to change my reading up a little bit. And the first, and it seems like a lot of people that we encounter online, they're reading from the KJV. So I'm going to first read verse 7 and 8 from the KJV, and then I'm going to also show you the differences between what's in the KJV and what's actually in the Hebraic text, because there are some glaring things that are different within both of the texts. So the KJV reads, "He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth." Verse 8, "He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living, for the transgressions of my people was he stricken." All right, so that's actually not how this is set up. I'm going to read to you the parsed version, and then I'll go through and parse each individual word. The parsed version for the rendering of Isaiah 53:7, the rendering is, "He was oppressed and afflicted, but he will not open his mouth. As one of the flock for slaughter, and as an ewe before her shearers is bound, and will not open its mouth." So we've already seen some differences there. So let's go through and parse the actual Hebrew. The first word is negas. It means to press, drive, or press, or extract. It's a verb, nifal, 3ms, third person, meaning third person masculine singular, perfect tense, meaning the act is perfected, it's already happened. It means he was oppressed. Word 2, with who. The root is hey, wod, aleph. It means he, she, it. It has he, she, or it. That's the meaning of it. It has the wow conjunction, and that means and. That translates as and he. 3, neaneh. Neaneh. The root for this is ayin, nun, hey. It means be bowed down or afflicted. It's a verb, nifal, participle. It means was afflicted. The fourth word, lo. The root is lo. Lam and aleph. It means no or not. It's a negative particle. It has the vowel conjunction meaning and it means but no. Because the vowel can actually take on, it can also mean but. If you have a lexicon, if you have a Brown Driver Briggs, you go to page 252. I think it's also noted in the Walkie as well. Fifth word, yitach. The root is he, tau, he. It means to open. It's a verb called third masculine singular. It's imperfect, meaning the act has yet to happen. It means he will open. The sixth word, Peele. The root is pei, aleph, hey. This is a third hey verb, so you see some assimilation with this. It means mouth. It's a noun, masculine, absolute. Seventh word, chaseh. It means the root is say, shin hey. It's one of the flock, lamb, sheep, or goat. This is another word that pops up and this is not to go off topic, but when you actually get into the Pesach, which is to be brought forth. And the word is one of the flock, it's lamb, sheep, or goat. It has the kaf inseparable preposition meaning as or like, and it's rendered as one of the flock. The eighth word, latebach. Latebach. The root is tet, bait, tet. It means to slaughter, butcher, or slay. It's a noun, masculine, singular, absolute. Has the lamed inseparable preposition meaning to or for. And if you could hold on to that thought, because when we get into verse 8, to or for, that's what it means. The lamed inseparable preposition, when the word, that's a prefix, when the word starts, the first letter that you hear, or the first sound that you hear is the L sound. Word 9, yibal. The root is yod, beit, lamed. It means to conduct, to bear along. It is a verb, whole fall, 3ms, imperfect. And it's rendered as he was led or he was conducted. Word 10, uchrachel. Uchrachel. The root is resh, chet, lamed. It means you. It's a noun, feminine, singular, absolute. It possesses the vowel conjunction, which means and. It has the chaf preposition, which means as or like, as we said earlier. And it's rendered as and, as, and you. Word 11, lipne. The root is pe, nun, he. It means to turn. It's a noun, masculine, plural, in construct form. When you see something in construct form, possessing the construct suffix of the sere yod, it's pretty much putting an of on the end. It belongs to something. And it means it has the lamed inseparable preposition again. And that can also mean in the presence of or before. So it's before the faces of. 12, nogzeha. Nogzeha. It's the root is gimel, zion, zion. It means to shear. It's a verb called masculine, plural, absolute, participle. It has the segol yod he chamatz, feminine, third person, masculine, singular, possessive, pronominal suffix, meaning her, and that was a mouthful. It means her shearers. You notice that the actual attributes, the pronominal suffixes, as we were talking about earlier, they come at the end of the word, saying like who the object belongs to, or who's performing the action. She, her, him, they, we. Those would be pronominal, meaning pronoun. Those would be those types of suffixes at the end. Word 13, ne'alama. The root is aleph, lamed, mem. It means combined. It's a verb, nifal, third person, feminine, singular, perfect, meaning that the act has already happened. It has the chamatz, hey, feminine, singular suffix. It means she was bound. This already happened. She was bound. 14, welo. It is a negative particle, vowel conjunction, and it has the vowel conjunction meaning and it just means and no. 15, yiptach. The root is pe, tau, chet. It means to open. It's a verb called third person, masculine, singular, imperfect. It means he or it will open. And it's an imperfect, meaning the act hasn't happened. 16, Peele. The root is aleph, hey. It means mouth again. It's a noun, masculine, in absolute form, and it means mouth. And again, that was rendered, he was oppressed and afflicted, but he will not open his mouth, as one of the flock for slaughter, and as an ewe before her shearers is bound, and will not open his mouth. All right? And now we're going to move to verse 8. All right, and remember from the KJV, verse 8 said, he was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living for. And remember that lamed means that lamed inseparable preposition is what means for. For the transgressions of my people was he stricken. All right. So what we're going to find out now is if the servant that is spoken of in Isaiah 53 suffered for the transgressions of the people. That's actually what it says in Hebrew. All right. First word. Let me actually read this. And I rendered it when I went through Hebrew word. It's he was taken from restraint and from judgment, and who from his generation will meditate, or who from his generation will consider. He was excluded from the land of the living, from the rebellion He was excluded from the land of the living, from, not for, from the rebellion of my people. The wound was for them. All right, so first word we have is milzer, the root being ayin zada resh. It means to restrain, close up, or detain. It's a noun, masculine, singular, an absolute form. It has the mem preposition. The mem preposition means from. The mem preposition means from. We were just talking about the lam inseparable preposition earlier, meaning for. The mem means from. So this word means from restraint. The next word, umimishpat. The root is shin pe tet. It means to judge, govern, or punish. It's a noun, masculine, singular, absolute. It has the wow conjunction, meaning and. It has the mem preposition, again. It has the mem preposition, meaning from. And from judgment. So we've already seen in this verse twice where the mem preposition has been rendered as from and not for. That's because it means from and not for. Third word, lukach. It means to take, get, receive, take away, or acquire. It's a verb, pual, third person masculine singular, perfect form, meaning it's already happened. It means he was taken. Huet, this is the fourth word. It's a direct object marker. I remember a long time ago there was this craze about the Aleph Tau on the internet. The Aleph Tau, and the Aleph Tau, them tying it to whatever they wanted to tie it to. It's simply a direct object marker. It's the action that the subject is performing. So if I say, it would direct action. Like if I said I opened the door, it's directing the action that I'm doing. It's saying, okay, this person, opened what? He opened the door. And it also has the wow conjunction in front of it, meaning and. Fifth word, doro. The root is dalet wow resh. It means generation or period of time. It also means dwelling. It's a noun, masculine, singular, absolute, with a holum wow pronominal masculine suffix, meaning his. This is rendered as his generation. Word 6, me. It's an interrogative pronoun meaning who. Verse 7, Yeshuchecha, the root being shin yod chet. It means muse or complain. It also indicates that this chapter is poetry. It's a song. If you actually go into Isaiah 52, before you get into 53, you'll find out that this is actually a song. It is melodic. It is a verb. It's a polel. 3MS, perfect, absolute. It means we'll meditate. There are actually other stems beyond the 7. If you heard, I said polel, and it's not one of the common 7. There are other stems, and some of those stems actually come from other Semitic languages. So Hebrew is actually closely tied with the other Northwest Semitic languages, and this isn't the time or place, but just thought I'd put that out there. 8 is key. It means that, for, when, or because. It is a conjunction. In this sense, it's being used as from. Word 9, nigzar. The root is gimel zayin resh. It means to cut, divide, or divide. It's a verb, nifal, 3MS, perfect. It says he was excluded. All right, next word, number 10, me'aretz. The root is aleph resh zada. It means earth or land. It's a noun, singular construct. Again, it has the mem preposition meaning from. This is rendered as, and it's in construct form, so it's from the land of. Word 11, chaim. The root is a het yod he, third he verb. It means to live. It's an adjective. I'm sorry, I said it's third day verb. Salika, this is not a verb. But it means to live. It's an adjective, masculine, absolute, with a chirik yod mem masculine plural suffix. It means living. Verse 12. This is word 12. This is the interesting word. Mi pe'av. Mi salika. Mi pesha. Mi pesha. Mi pesha. The root is pe, shin, ayin. It means to rebel, transgress, or to transgress. All right, this is where it gets interesting. In the KJV, this read as, let me see, for the transgression of my people, or for the transgression, for the transgression. That's what it read. Okay, this word is a noun masculine singular. It has the mem preposition. It means from. It means from rebellion, from the rebellion. There's a big difference between the word for and from, and this isn't to play semantics, but it is to bring truth. You can look in any dictionary. If you suffer for someone, that means you're taking the punishment off of them so that things are better for them. If you suffer from, it is from the actions that the individual took against you, or from some bad decision that they made. If you walk up to someone on the street and you punch them in the face for no good reason, they're suffering because of your action, or they're suffering from your action. If you take it hood, if you got beef with somebody and somebody walks up to a person standing next to you and they get beat up, and they get beat up, they jump in and they get beat up, they suffered for your actions. So this is suffering. This is this servant is suffering from their rebellion, not for their rebellion or for their transgressions. Word 13, ami, the root being ayin mem, or you can say ayin mem sofi, means people. And it's a noun masculine singular and absolute form. It possesses the hirik yod, first person singular possessive pronominal suffix. It means my. That's the yod that you see on the end. The word for my is ani, and this possesses the yod on the end, the hirik yod on the end, so signifying that it is an object owned by the first person, by the speaker. So again, that means my people. Word 14, nega, it means stroke, plague, or mark. It's a noun masculine singular and absolute form, meaning stroke or wound. Word 15, lamo. It has the inseparable preposition lamet, to or for, and it's the word actually means to or for them. The alignment of preposition meaning to or for, and it was rendered again. He was taken from restraint and from judgment, and who from his generation will meditate or consider. He was excluded from the land of the living, from the rebellion of my people. The wound was for them. So we are now at verse 9.
Yes, sir. Okay, I have verse 9. Hey, Yochanon, can you read verse 9 in English for me? I wanted to keep the King James out of this, but just so that the listeners can have an idea.
Yeah, you keep bringing them back in, man. You keep calling them back in.
You know I'm the bad guy. So verse 9 in the KJV, and anybody else needs, I got it right. In the KJV, Yeshayahu chapter 53 verse 9 reads as thus: and he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth.
Okay, and the only reason why I'm having him read the English is just to provide some contrast to what we're reading, and because we're only going from the Hebrew text. That's where our translations are coming from. All right, so the first word in Isaiah verse 9, it's Wayatan. Okay, we see a prefix to that word is it's a wall conjunction and. All right, the word yatan there, that's a verb. It's from the cal stem. It's a third person masculine singular, imperfect, meaning to give or make or set. All right, so he made or and he set. All right. The second word, we have the aleph and tau here, but in this instance, this aleph and tau is inseparable preposition, meaning with, near, together with. Okay? And the third word, Rashaim, that's an adjective, masculine plural. It means wicked, criminal, guilty of sin. All right, it's from the root verb rasha, reshin, ayin, to be or act wickedly. Fourth word, kibro. Kibro. That's a noun masculine singular with a third person masculine singular pronominal suffix. That would be the at the end. We see the wa, so that would be your suffix, meaning his. All right. The word comes from the root kiber, meaning it means to bury, but here in this instance, it means his grave, his sepulcher, or his tomb. Fifth word, we'et. Here we have the wa. This is a wa conjunction, and we have our aleph and tau here again. But this is an inseparable preposition, meaning and with, or and near, and together with. All right, and the sixth word, ashir. This is an adjective, and it's a masculine singular adjective, meaning rich, wealthy. Now, in a negative sense, it implies haughtiness. It means haughtiness or impious. From the root ashar, to be or become rich. I just wanted to point out here that this word is used in a singular sense. However, according to the Brown, Driver, and Briggs Hebrew Lexicon, it's also it implies plurality. So here we have a singular word that implies plurality, and it's because it's been used in other parts of Scripture and rendered in Hebrew asherim, but rendered in English it's just simply rich. Speaking of rich, the rich or the haughty, wealthy, and so that stood out to me. Seventh word, bimota. Bimota. That's a noun masculine plural, which has with an inseparable preposition, the bet from in bimota. The bet is an inseparable preposition meaning in, with, or by, and the pronominal suffix here. We have our we see the chametz under the tav, and then the yod and wa. All right, so that's a pronominal. It's a type 2 pronominal suffix, meaning so the word is meaning it's speaking of in his death or dying. All right, and it's from the root mut, okay, meaning to die. The eighth word, al, that's a preposition, and this word has a very wide range of definitions, and it's used in various ways. But basically it means on, upon, against, on account of, according to, because. All right, so there's a very wide range of the way this word can be used. The ninth word, lo. It's a simple word. It's a primitive root. It's a negative particle. It simply means no, not, or nothing. 10th word, Hamas. Hamas. That's a noun masculine singular. Now this word is it means violence, wrong, cruelty, injustice, oppression. All right. From the root chet mem samech, meaning to treat violently or to do wrongly. The 11th word, asa. Asa. That's a verb. It's from the cow stem. It's a perfect verb. Third masculine singular. To do, to work, make, produce. All right. And the 12th word, wallo. Wallo. It's simply the word that we previously covered, the lo, with the wa prefix in front. So it's wallo, meaning and no, or and not, and nothing. The 13th word, mirma. Mirma. That's a noun, feminine singular. And the word means deceit, treachery, from the root, ramah, to cast, hurl, deceive, or beguile. 14th word, bepia. Bepia, that's a noun, masculine singular. It has an inseparable preposition prefixed to the front. That's the bet, meaning in, with, or by. And it also has a third person masculine singular pronominal suffix attached to the end, which is your yod and wa, meaning his. So the basic root of the word is pe, meaning mouth. And here, the way it's used in this verse, it's rendered in his mouth. Now, the translation, it reads, and he set together with the wicked his grave, and with the haughty in his death, on account he had done no wrong, and no deceit was in his mouth. Okay, now I'll be moving on to verse 10. Go ahead, Yochanan, read that.
Cain, verse 10. Yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand.
Okay. So we see another wa conjunction prefixed to the name of the Creator. All right, the Creator's name is Yod-He Wah-He. So it's saying, and he or it shall cause to exist. All right, that's what the Creator's name is actually translated as. And Yod-He Wah-He. All right, so as you've heard already, that comes from, it's a proper noun. It comes from a verb in the Hiffel stem, third person masculine singular imperfect verb. He or it will cause or shall cause to exist or to be. From the causative root hawa, meaning to be. Second word, chafetz. Chafetz. All right, that's a verb. It's from the cow stem. It's a third person masculine singular. So it's talking about someone. All right. So it means to delight in. All right. To take pleasure in. So there's someone he will delight in or take pleasure in. Third word. Dako. Dako. That's a verb. Now, this is from the Peele stem. Now, in the Peele stem, it's basically, it makes a cow stem verb, which is a simple active verb. It intensifies it. So, for example, there's several examples that can be used, but instead of just being squashed in the cow stem, but in the Peele, it'd be intensified. So it's like he was smashed. You know, he's broken to bits. You know, you can even say shredded, something to that effect. And so that's what a Peele verb stem can do to a verb. And so then, it shows us that the verb stems are very important to know. So this is a third person masculine singular Peele verb with a third person masculine singular pronominal suffix, and that's the wa at the end, meaning it's him. All right, speaking of him. So it means to crush or to break into pieces or to shatter. Fourth word, hekeli. Hekeli. It's a verb. This is from the Hiphil stem. It's a third person masculine singular, perfect tense. So this is something that has been done already. It contains a pronominal suffix, yod, at the end. So speaking of him, something is done to him, or rather caused to him. This was caused to him. He was caused to be made sick or to make grieve. All right, and it's the primitive root is he, chet, lamed. Sixth word, im. It's spelled with aleph, mem, sophi. Im. Now this is a conditional clause. All right, this means like if. Okay, there are conditions in this. So this isn't for sure. This isn't guaranteed. This is like, if he will do this, this will occur. It's like writing code or something, if-then statements. So this isn't something that's necessarily guaranteed. You see the im conditional clause in the text. Seventh word, tasim. Now this is a verb from the cow stem, imperfect, third person masculine singular, will make, all right, will establish, will set, will appoint. It's from the root shum. Eighth word, asham. Asham. This is a noun, masculine singular, and it simply means guilt, offense, or guiltiness. This word asham in other places in Scripture, it's translated guilt. All right? Just guilt. All right, so once again, it's guilt, offense, guiltiness. Ninth word, nefsho. Nefsho. It's a noun, feminine singular. It contains a pronominal suffix, the wa at the end. You can see that. So it's talking about someone, his soul. It's possessive. His soul. That's what a nefesh is. That's the root nefesh, meaning soul. Also meaning mind, self, a life, a person. Okay. 10th word, yere. Yere. This is a verb from the cow stem, third person masculine singular, imperfect tense. So this hasn't been completed yet. This action hasn't been completed. But the word means from the root ra, meaning to see, to consider, or inspect. All right. So it's rendered, he will see. All right. 11th word, zera. Zera. Noun, masculine singular. Simple word, means seed, offspring, children. Also meaning to sow seed, sowing, to seed the ground. 12th word, yarek. Yarek. This is a verb from the hiphil stem, third person masculine singular. It means it's from the root arek, aleph resh kaf sofi, to be long. That's what it means, to be long. And since this is a third person masculine singular verb from the hiphil stem, all right, he will prolong. He will prolong. That's what arek rather is telling us. He will prolong. 13th word, yamim. Yamin is a noun masculine plural. It comes from the root word yom, which means day. So it just simply means days. Yamin. The 14th word, wachafetz. Wachafetz. All right, we see the wa conjunction prefix to the beginning of this word, meaning and. The root word chefetz. Chefetz. Chet, pe, dadi, sofi, means delight, pleasure, or longing. All right, so it's and delight and pleasure. That's what the word's telling us. 15th word. This is the name of the Creator. It's a proper noun. We've covered this already. Yod he wa he. Some of us don't render the name in we don't vocalize it in English at times, or most of the time rather. Those of us who follow halakha, it's simply out of respect for the Creator and the ordinance that was handed down over 2,000 years ago, approximately 2,300 years ago. But this is Yod He Wa He. We've covered this. This is a noun from the hiphil stem. Just to rehearse, it's a third person masculine singular imperfect verb. That's where this noun comes from. It's built from the imperfect verb. He or it shall cause to exist or shall cause to be, from the root hawa, to be. All right, 16th word, beyado. Beyado. All right, this word contains an inseparable preposition. You have your bet prefix to the front of this word, meaning in, with, or by. The word there's also a third person masculine singular pronominal suffix as the wa at the end, and the root word is yad, meaning hand. All right, so in his hand, or with his hand, or by his hand, that's what's being said there. 17th word. This is the last word. Yetzlach. Yetzlach. Verb. All right. It's from the cow stem, the third person masculine singular, imperfect tense. I believe the root is tzalak. I didn't write it. I forgot to write that down. If I'm mistaken, I'm quite sure it's zalak. If I'm mistaken, someone will correct me on that. But it means to prosper. All right. So since this is a third person masculine singular imperfect tense, he will prosper. All right. So the rendering, rendering in English, it says, and Yod He Wa He, he that will cause to exist, was delighted to break him into pieces if he would establish his soul as guilty. He will see offspring. He will cause his days to be prolonged, and the pleasure of Yod He Wa He will prosper by his hand. With that, I'll turn it over to the next reader.
One more thing. I got that root for you. Zada Lamed Chet.
What's that?
You got that? Yeah, Zada Lamed Chet.
You kind of broke up. You broke up.
Don't worry about it.
Lamed Chet. So that is the root, right? Okay.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I see then. All right, so, wow, man, I feel like the consummate underachiever. I mean, you guys had all your words all numbered and everything. Man. All right. All right, no, I was pondering at great length because I'm not sure how many people are actually listening and who would be inclined to follow along. So I'm thinking because of the strong possibility that there's going to be an archive, maybe what I will do is just an articulation of the consonants first. That way, if someone wanted to kind of get a copy of the Hebrew text and then go back and maybe listen to the archive, they could be like, okay, maybe I can match up the sounds with the graphemes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yay or nay?
Yes.
Well, don't just make sure, because it might be a retarded idea, so don't disagree to agree. I mean, does it seem retarded, a waste of time? What do you think?
Just do it.
All right, fair enough. All right, so and we're at 11. So if you were looking at your Hebrew text, we would be reading from right to left. What I'm going to do is articulate each consonant in succession, 11 through 12, and then I will do a read, and then a parsing, and then some type of rendering. All right, here we go. From 11. Min Rashid. Ma, ah, ma, la, nu, pa, shi, wu, yeah, ra, yeah, ba, ah, ba, da, ah, wu, yeah, ba, da, yeah, ga, da, yeah, ga, ah, ba, da, yeah, le, ra, be, yi, ne, wo, ah, wo, no, t, ma, wo, yi, t, b, le, ha, le, ga, le, wo, ba, ra, ba, yeah, ma, wo, t, ah, the, wo, ma, yeah, ma, yeah, ha, le, ga, shi, la, t, ha, t, shi, ra, yeah, ah, ra, le, ma, wo, t, ne, pepe, shi, wo, t, pepe, shi, ah, yeah, mama, nunu, ha, wo, ha, t, ra, baba, yeah, mama, nunu, t, wo, le, pepe, shi, ah, yeah, mama, yeah, pepe, gaga, yeah, ah. All right, and here's the read. I'm not sure yet. يزبع بدعته يضبق ضابط عبدال الربيب وغول تمغوا يطبل لوكين خلق الله بالربيب بيتغضمين يا خلق شلالة خطشر era lemaweta nausho, wea papasayima nimna, wea khetarabima nesa, wea pasayima yardea. Shalom, shalom. All right, so the first is me'alman. We have a masculine singular noun with inseparable contracted preposition. Normally you would be looking for men, but due to the fact that the ayn is a member of the akhara crew, it rejects the assimilated noon represented as a dagish, and we have to account for that with compensatory lengthening of the preceding vowel, hence me, amal. Okay. Then we have dafshil, masculine singular noun with a third masculine singular pronominal suffix. So nafish, I kind of like the idea of that connection between the bioelectrical impulse and your anatomy, you know, and its ability to animate you. So if you think about a light filament, I always try to compare it to that. If your filament breaks, even though power is flowing, it doesn't illuminate. So the nafish is kind of like the filament, you know. All right, moving forward. Let me see, where are we? Then yer from the triradical to G stem from the resh alifet, masculine singular imperfect. Then we have another G stem from the shoresh or root, din beit ein, G stem grundstamm or call, simple active. Again, third masculine singular imperfect. We have feminine singular noun with a third masculine singular pronominal suffix with an inseparable preposition in be'ato. Okay. Let me see where are we. Then we have a Hifil third masculine singular imperfect from the shorish ba dal taf, and we know that's a Hifil or causative active stem because of the A class vowel and the prefix radical, and the I class vowel and the second root radical. A radical simply is just an egghead way of saying position as it relates to the triconsonantal root. And if you have a triconsonantal root, tri meaning three, relating to consonants, and then, of course, root value. So we have three letters or three graphings, which give us a general idea of some semantic value. And so in this case, our triconsonantal root, or the shorish, is baba dalaf, and the is a Hifil causative active third masculine singular imperfect. All right, and then we have babik. We have our A class vowel in the first root radical and an I class vowel in the second root radical. So this gives us a general idea that the phonological assets are leaning towards an adjective, right? And can be used as a noun, so we could have an adjectival noun in this case. Then we have abdi, a masculine singular noun with a first person singular pronominal object suffix, followed by the rabin, a masculine plural noun from rab, with an inseparable preposition lamed. Then we have notum from aun, to be crooked or corrupt. And so we have our conjunction woe, and then we have our our third person plural suffix. It's been a long day. All right. Then we have hua, which is our third masculine singular Pronoun, we have Yitzabol, from, bet, lam, third masculine singular, G stem, consistent with the thematic vowels, looking for an I-class vowel in the prefix radical, a schwa or a stop class vowel or short vowel in the first root radical, and a U-class or O-class vowel in the second root radical. Okay, so you. All right, and this is from like to bear, to bear, like if I was going to, throw something on you. You have to carry it, bear it. Then we have looking from kun and the inseparable preposition lamed. So it's really saying like therefore, like for establishing. Okay, then we have halq from hal lam qaf, and it's at its base root it means to divide. I vocalize it as a causative active first common singular. I guess if you have an unpointed text, you could vocalize it how you want. So I'm vocalizing it as a first common singular causative active. Then we have low, inseparable preposition with third person masculine singular pronominal suffix. Then we have inseparable preposition bait along with the masculine plural noun of rabim. And that low is like to him, for him. Then we have and this is our conjunction, and I'm using this as a preposition, this particular aleph tau, and we'll talk about it and how this is going to work in a second. And then we have zulmin from ayin, bab, mim. And so this is like, vast, the vast, the strong, mighty ones. It comes from vast, but in this situation, we're thinking about numbers, strength in numbers. All right, then we have this is a D stem, okay, or PL, active intensive, okay, so not simple active. Ben-Yaaqob broke that down very well when he was differentiating between the simple active, the Grundstamm or G stem, or I'll call simple active. The difference between you give me a cup of tea and I accidentally drop it and break the cup versus I throw the glass into the wall and try to shatter it. Purposeful action to bring about a purposeful end. All right, so this is a third masculine singular imperfect, PL from la qaf. Then we have Shayl, and this is a masculine singular noun. It's kind of like spoil. Like if you spoils the war, spoil, whatever that means to you. Then we have, kind of like a preposition of sorts, conjunction, and more of a conjunction. Tachat asher. Tachat meaning like under, and so asher is a relative, relative pronoun of sorts. So literally kind of under which. Then we have ayad, and this is a hifil, third masculine singular, and we'll talk about how we're going to call this modality here. But it has the features, morphological features, consistent with a hifil, third masculine singular perfect, and through the rendering, we'll talk about how it's going to be appropriated. So, Hey, Ein, Resh, He. and the thematic vowels indicate it's a hifil. Then we have inseparable preposition with a masculine singular noun, the poet, towards, death. Nacho, masculine singular noun with third masculine singular pronominal suffix, again, conjunction with et, using it as a preposition. Then we have for Shayim, the rebels, like if there was, like when the United States wanted to, break away from England, the people over here that wanted to break away were considered Pashaim, rebels. Okay? Those that wanted to secede from the Union were considered Pashaim, rebels. All right. Then we have Nimna from Nana to account. And so this is a nifal, which is our in-stem or simple active or simple reflexive in some cases. And our thematic vowels indicate and such nifal, and then we have nimna. Then we have here wahua, conjunction with third masculine singular pronoun, and we'll talk about how we're going to use that here shortly. Then we have chipta, rabim. This is in construct. This would be the miss of the, I guess you could say, confederations, multitudes, conglomerates of peoples. Then we have a Nisa is our root, our shorish, and it's a call, third masculine singular, built upon the perfect form. So morphologically and phonologically, it looks like a perfect from nun, sin, elif. Then we have a word conjunction, inseparable preposition, lamed, and the plural masculine or encompassing Pashaim, rebels. Then we have our third masculine singular causative active hifil, and from the short root te gimel ayin. So we have yet, yeah. And so our thematic vowels indicate that this is a causative active. Again, the hifil enjoys a class vowel in the prefix radical, then a stop vowel in the first root radical, and we expect to see a I class vowel in the second root radical. And because of the nature of the production of the consonant ayin, you see a class vowel in that syllable ultima. So now I guess moving forward, Neham, so via the I guess the not just toil, it's almost like prison camp kind of torture, like that kind of egregious burden on your life. So via this, through this, he would see in his experience. So then we go to Bid'ah. So, in his experience, he would see, and not only would he see the, I guess, the satiation of the soul, or of that, or his life. Okay. Let's see. Yedzadik, Zadik. How about the righteous one? So calls the righteousness of my servant, or my righteousness, or righteousness shall cause to be established or empirically visible, the righteousness of my servant towards or before the confederations, like allies. Where amununtum, and their ineptitude, their not just shortcomings, their corruption. So basically, their ineptitude, their corruption, he would have to tolerate. He would bear. Therefore, I shall cause to divide within the confederations for him, and with the vast numbers, he shall divide spoil for the sake of, or because, after all, to Chazashel, he caused to strip his soul to death or unto death. And so, moving on through this, le'et, and with the parsing, okay, there shall be an account, or there shall be something appropriated of them. It shall be appropriated of them. And that the myths, and that of the myths of the confederation he shall take up. So it's just like, imagine this. If you had a group of people that were, let's say that we were going to, let's say Yochanon comes into town and he's going to take over all of New York City, right? And they're like, no. So Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, they all come together and form a confederacy, an alliance. And they're like, no, we're not having this. We're going to come together. And so you have a rebellion against Yochanan after he established his order. And so they're like, we don't want his order. We're going to do this thing. And so those that outright fight get dealt with. And then you had some people that tried to and missed, came up short. And so we're going to talk about taking up even a portion from them that had a mind to, became up short. And for the Pashaim, the rebels, he shall oversee, he shall cause the capitulation, or oversee the capitulation. So like if there is something that's going to bring about a peace treaty, or like, please stop this, he shall be the instrument or oversee this. Yeah. Yeah, that's my piece.
Okay.
So I think I read everything. I think I parsed everything out. Modality. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. So let's talk about modality. In this case, so because we have an imperfect here, let's go back up to, where is it? Yisabol. Let's start with that one, that third masculine singular imperfect. So with this, we're going to, no. Let's actually start at 12. Therefore, I shall cause to bring about a division within the confederation, like a portion for him. All right. And with that vast numbers, he shall divide, So then we have this third masculine singular imperfect, or he would, So, but in any case, this is going to set up modality. And so if you were going to translate it as a future tense, by the time you get down to the hey, ein, re, she, then of course this would have to be a woe. I guess you would have to call it a modal imperfect, based on how it's moving. And then if you had the woe, the conjunction with the aleph tau, I guess you could also do the same thing and declare that nifal and modal imperfect. And you could do the same thing with the nun sin aleph if you wanted to declare it a modal imperfect. So anyway, in essence, what a modal imperfect, how it behaves is imagining the Deuteronomy 6 and 4 and the Shema, or is that 6 and 5? So Shema Yisar Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad Ve'ahavta. So Ve'ahavta would be a modal imperfect built upon the perfect tense form, or the suffix conjugation. So Ahavta, second masculine singular. So Ve'ahavta is not and you loved, it's and you shall love. So in any case, when you're looking at it in this principal form, you can choose whether you're going to relegate it as a perfect or a modal imperfect. So there you go.
Amen. Shalom. Shayl, if you have anybody in the queue that has any questions, that'd be cool right now.
All right, family. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, this is your time. You know that number by now. It's 319-527-6239. You simply press number 1 and we'll add you in the conversation. I see we have a person that pressed number 1. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to 313-784. Got a question?
Yes, I wanted to, Shalom. I wanted to ask about the Hebrew. I just wanted to know what does it say in regards to the let us, that part.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question? I didn't even hear it.
I said I was trying to see what is the Hebrew, reading, what does it mean? In Genesis, where it talks about creation, it says let us, or what's an understanding.
Can I understand? That's not. Can I take that one? I actually, yeah. Can I take that question? Would love to.
Go ahead, man.
All right, cool. I actually parsed that verse out. Okay, the proper rendering of this verse, I can actually pull it up right now. Literally just a couple seconds. I just shared this with the brother not too long ago, and here it is. All right, the proper rendering of that is, and I know this has nothing to do with Isaiah 53. I'm a Genesis fanatic. I'm a Genesis 1 fanatic. I think probably Pinkney is too. Probably all of us. It's a really interesting book. But it's rendered as, and the consortium of divine powers decreed, we will design mankind to be in the resemblance of our image. Let them rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the skies, and the beasts, and in all moving things that move on the earth. So that's how it's rendered. I didn't mean to jump in on you, Pinkney, but you know I love this verse.
Nah. Do you want to elaborate where us is? What that pronominal suffix is attached to?
Oh, sure. Actually, that one's not it's a plural and masculine suffix. That one's not a pronominal suffix. It's coming off of Elohim. The root of Elohim is Aleph Lamed He. It's the singular form for God. Or I guess you would say it would be better to say deity. It's a noun masculine absolute, and it has the plural masculine suffix on the end of Hidik Yod. That's when you hear that im on the end. A lot of words in Hebrew, if you hear im on the end, it's a plural. If you hear yim, it's dual. It's a dual form suffix. But if you hear im, it's meaning it's a plural suffix. Yeah, that's the us, the consortium of divine powers, and you can actually get it also. If you want to dig in further into it, If you do 26, 27, and 28, all three of those verses, as well as getting to the book of Job. Job is the oldest. I believe that's the oldest attested book in what people would call the Bible. That's the oldest attested book in there. If you get into Job, was it 38? Job 38 goes into it, as well as Job 1 and Job 2. And also getting into Psalms 8, you can find out who that consortium, or the consortium of divine powers, or that us is talking about. So I hope that answers your question. You still there?
Oh yeah, thanks for. Yeah, thanks for. I was just trying. Okay, yeah. So you're saying that the us is just like you said. You said it's like you said the Elohim and everything. Like that's, I just want to understand, because they was, people saying that that's the Jesus, that was Jesus. When he's saying let us make, make us.
Not to go, and it's really not to go, and I hope I don't open a can of worms, but not to go too far left from Isaiah 53. Genesis 1, when you actually read it, you look at Genesis 1 as well as Genesis 2.
Right.
There's actually a divide there. The chapter markers are fictitious. I spoke on this online a while back. I actually talked to a very good brother today, and we get more in depth on it. Because those chapter markers or the verse markers are really artificial. When you get into into the English translation, they're pretty much just using to help you find the verse. But there's a divide at 2:4 between Genesis 1 to 2:3. That would be one portion. Starting at Genesis 2 verse 4, that would be a different portion. And if you actually read them, if you're honest about it, they don't really jive. You have a singular entity doing the creating in Genesis 2. You have a plurality doing it in Genesis 1, but nowhere in that because the text comes from much older literature than actually what you're seeing there. And as well as you can get online and research for yourself. You can research multiple sources, JEPD. You can research that as well. If you go to Google and just type in JEPD sources, scholarly articles on JEPD sources, it'll give you a plethora of information that you can look at. So what I try to tell everybody is Genesis isn't really for us, doesn't really give us rules to live by. Like when we get into Genesis 1, it's a great story, it's a great narrative. It's packed with ups and downs, a lot of adventure and whatnot. But those are our instruction. Our Torah starts at chapter 20. And that's it. And I apologize, Akeem, for going left. I still apologize for words with the left at 53. You know me from
Did that answer your question, Ak? Do you have any more? Or?
Oh yeah, no. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate the answer.
All right, shalom.
I'll behave from shalom.
Yeah, all right. So once again, that number is 319-527-6239. This is your time, people. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to call in and press number 1. I see we have a lot of people on the switchboard listening to the show. All you got to do is simply press number 1, and then we'll bring you back in the conversation. So far, nobody else is pressing number 1. We have like 15 more minutes left in the air, though. But you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening, you have any questions regarding either what we just did, the difference in modern Hebrew, Yiddish, the Hebrew using the A-class vowels and the one diphthong I. Please call in. Don't be apprehensive. Just have a discussion on your ideas and how you've been informed, and or if you're interested in beginning to learn, we can give you our information.
I like the way. I mean, I think obviously the call was probably a little. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. No, I'm saying I'm assuming that it's probably a little more sterile than what people are used to. Very anticlimactic. Not a lot of area for shouting matches. Not a lot of opinion. It really is very mechanical. And so I think a lot of times people are used to dealing in areas of gray and ambiguity that allows them to leverage what they believe, even in the absence of textual attestation to corroborate what they believe. And so what this does, this says that you can approach this text completely mechanically no matter what your personal faith system is. And a hifil is a hifil. A PL is a PL. A call is a call. A modal imperfect or a perfect, or a suffix conjugation and suffix conjugation. I mean, it is what it is to everybody. And so I really enjoyed how there was an ardent focus, by all the participants, to allow the text to speak for itself in terms of, grammar. So well done, guys. And I appreciate, what you're willing to do to allow me to, get off the highway to actually make the call. So thank you for your diligence in that and your accommodation.
All right, stand by, everyone. Stand by. We do have another person, press number 1 at this time. Let's go to that caller. Let's go to 443-939. It's live in the air.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight, fellas? Let me first say it's cool to see you guys get together and do a class. I never really heard nobody put a class together on a Hebrew breakdown. But just as a listener, listening in, I'm to comment out there and then ask questions. Not trying to take no shots at anybody. Try to be as honest as I possibly can, just from listening in. You know what I mean? My name's Jeff, calling out of Merlin, by the way. When I listen in and I listen to you guys break it down, you guys sound very knowledgeable of the Hebrew scripture. I'm not going to take that away from y'all. It's kind of like reading along with y'all, so that's disputable too. So when I'm used to reading it from the English, and I hear you guys, I don't hear anything that really takes away from what the English says. And as far as Yochanon ben Israel, when he broke it down and he said his own self that it's semantics. The biggest word it seemed like he pulled from to me was the difference between for and from. And he said out his own mouth that it sounds like semantics. And to me, it definitely does. Because I would pose the question, because he said it's a difference. I would ask Yochanan, if you work 40 hours, you get paid for 40 hours or from 40 hours. It all seems like the same to me. And that's just my thoughts listening in, fellas. And like I said, I don't want to take no shots at y'all or nothing like that. It ain't about that. I'm just trying to give an honest assessment of somebody that's just listening in.
Can I address that preposition issue right quick? So in a first-person situation, there's an exceptional difference semantically between you take a beating on my behalf and you take a beating from me. That's not semantics. Semantics means meaning, right? And so what happens when we use that phrase, semantics, in conversation, well, what we're saying is it's about meaning. And so semantically, there is no congruence between le and ma as an inseparable contracted preposition. Lamed, to, for, or genitive of, is not congruent with men or the contracted form me. It's just not. And so, like I said, if we want to draw the illusion of there's a distinct and marked difference between you taking a beating on my behalf because I didn't come in by the time the street lights came on, mommy gave you a beating because of me. That's different. That's lamed. You took a beating for me. I broke the glass because I was running in the house and I wasn't supposed to be running, so you took the blame and you took the beating. That's different, than you taking a beating from me. Okay? Big difference. Okay? All right, thank you.
Well, I guess there was nothing for me to address on that. So, excellent, Mitch.
Yeah, like I said, as far as my question, like I said, if somebody's working 40 hours, you get paid for 40 hours or from 40 hours?
They got paid for 40 hours for the services they went for the services that they rendered. Now,
they didn't get paid.
To me, if I can please finish. To me, what it sounds like now is playing a game of semantics. If the words were the same, if the mem and the lamed preposition meant the same thing, Hebrew being not a language of redundancy, then there wouldn't be two separate prepositions. They would be the same. They would be the same thing. So for you to say, "Oh, you get paid for 40 hours or from 40 hours," you got paid for 40 hours. No, it's definitely not semantics. They don't mean the same thing. To say you're doing something for that makes you sacrificial for them. To say that the servant suffered from the transgressions of the ones committing the transgressions or rebellions. It's saying that it's saying that is not saying that the servant was a sacrifice for them. The servant being pretty much suffering because of actions that they were doing. So that's definitely not semantics. It may sound like semantics, but I guarantee you, if you get into any English dictionary, Hebrew dictionary, Chaldean dictionary, lexicons, I guarantee you they are not the same thing.
I hear you, brother. Like I said, that's just me giving an honest listener in. Like I said, I ain't really trying to go back and forth. I know I'm not the only one that would say something like that, and I'm going off of what you said. I mean, you even said it yourself. So that's all I got for tonight.
No, buddy. Hold on, brother. I didn't say it was semantics. I said it may sound like semantics because I've heard that argument over and over and over again. I did not say it was semantics.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not trying to put nothing in your mouth. I'm saying from a listener. If you say it sounds like semantics, that's what everybody else is going to be thinking too. It sounds like semantics. Like I said, I didn't call to go back and forth. I just called to give an honest.
Yeah, I get it. So what we wanted to do is to make clarification. And like I said, what we're doing is addressing this hypothetical inquiry posed by the hypothetical population. So like I said, we weren't going back and forth with you. We just wanted the listeners to say, okay, in this hypothetical inquiry, for those that believe that there's congruence between the inseparable preposition lamed and the contracted form of men being meh, here's what we say. You were paid for your work. You received your wages from your employer. You got paid for your work. You received your wages from your employer.
Yep.
You got a spanking for your deeds. You received your spanking from your father. Okay?
I got you.
See the difference?
I follow you.
Okay. Oh, no. I'm not saying you're not following. So what I'm saying, just in terms of that population that's attempting to negotiate their understanding of the English text in juxtaposition to the Hebrew text, I strongly suggest, like I always say, don't ever attempt to exegete from literature and translation. Only approach the principal language attestation because it will give you the greatest insight into what is actually being expressed grammatically based on the system of the language. And so in a case where Americans who have a preponderance of putting prepositions at the end of sentences, whereas in English that's incorrect, well, just imagine how American speakers of English utilize prepositions in any number of ways that is incongruent with the fundamentals of English grammar. So if you take someone that speaks a variant or a dialect of English and they take that understanding and impose that understanding upon Hebrew, right, or English or literature and translation, you come up with this idea of, oh, well, it's semantics. You say tomato, I say tomato. Well, no. There's a difference between zebra and squid. All right? It's not semantics for those people that believe there's congruence or parity between the inseparable preposition lamed and the preposition men or contracted form knit. All right, that's it on that one.
All right, well, you got like about 4 minutes on the air, people. Any quick questions out there? Again, it's press number 1, and then we'll add you in the conversation. You know that number, 319-527-6239. If not, we're just going to get some final words from each special guest on the panel. I guess, okay, nobody else press number 1 at this time, so I guess we can start off with you, Pinkney. Last words.
Thank you very much for this broadcast and opportunity again. Just encouraging everyone out there to consider learning classical Hebrew to actually navigate through the Hebrew text. It is a Hebrew text. It would behoove you to read it in Hebrew, know morphology, phonology, syntax, and how the words relate to each other. I mean, anyone that knows me online, you know, feel free to inbox. You know, we could chop it up. You know, we could start with that left bet and move forward. And you know, Mitzil, I don't know what's his availability, but I'm sure he'll say it when he has his time for last words. But I think this was very productive, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'd love to do another one, probably with a shorter chapter or a couple of verses. And that's it. Thank you again for this evening. Toda Sal. Toda.
All right, let's go down the line. Let's go to JG. You there? JG, any last words?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think everybody did a good job today. You know, with their parsings and their renderings. It's definitely different to what you would usually hear when you turn on a YouTube video. You know, when you see on Facebook, when you watch, you know, people trying to teach, you know, from Hebrew literature. You know, it's a lot easier just to say, I forget all that, and pop open the King James Version English translation and trying to impose, you know, your ideas or the mistranslation upon the Hebrew text and think that it is equal, you know, because it's really not. And so, but this is the work that people get to listen to and, hear, you know, that people put into it, right? Because every day, you know, people are working on this, you know, and you're doing the study. This is academic level. You know, this is what you'll learn at a university. This is what you'll learn, you know, when people try to break down the text. You know, you just don't go in there and just say, hey, man, I'll pop this King James Version open and watch this. I'm about to precept the precepts. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, you have to actually learn. You have to learn the grammatical rules about the thing. You know, I'm not saying, and I don't want to say that to be funny, but it's just like I've been doing this for years now, and I keep saying the same thing, and people are not, you know, I guess, progressing. You know, they keep saying, you know, we just use the English translation. So, but I don't want to keep harping on that. But what you do get the opportunity to see is people are taking it serious. You know, people are taking their game up. You know, they are learning the language, and they say, okay, well, listen, if I'm saying I'm a Hebrew and I'm going to follow Hebrew law, then I must learn, you know, how to read the text. And so, but so it was definitely good. It's definitely different that you will probably rarely see, you know. And I just want to say I thank you for having us on, and you know, and that people get an insight of how we actually go through the text. And I will also say that because it was a long show, you know, as well, that if you didn't understand the translations, you know, I would say go back and listen to it and compare each person's translation with like a King James Version or English translation, so you can really get the difference. You know, and then they can always listen to it, replay it back, hear the grammar. And if you have any questions, you can contact people. They give out their Skype. I'm JG Peele, and that's it. All right, Shalom.
All right, Ben-Yaaqob, last word.
Yeah, I'll be brief. in this presentation / exercise that was done this evening, excuse me, I know there were a lot of egghead terms thrown around, and so and just hearing these things can intimidate some people and discourage them. But I just want to let everyone know that we all have felt that way, and especially if you're learning from Mitzil, he'll throw you in the deep end. Your first day, he's going to throw you in the deep end of that pool and make you swim. So you just have to man up and bear through it. Actually, we try not to be too technical with it, but yeah, it can be intimidating. If it's, many people don't even like English courses, and so yeah, Hebrew it's challenging. But as you learn, every time you learn more, you take a few more steps forward, you get more confident, and you begin to understand these terms and commit things to memory, and you feel a lot better. And especially when there's many people you can work with and discuss these things with. So I just want to encourage everyone to look into this, because the flip side of that is making excuses. And I hear it in people's conversation. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. English and the Hebrew is the same. And the fact is, many people are afraid of what they might find in the Hebrew text when they learn. How do I know this? Because I was a little afraid. But no, when you have knowledge, when you get knowledge, that fear just goes away. Especially if you're seeking after truth. So with that said, I want to thank Sal for having us on. Thank the brothers who I study with for putting this together, and Mitzil for helping us out. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to doing a lot more of these. These are very constructive shows, and that's the type of thing that I'm into. I don't have time for English translations and opinions and arguing and bickering back and forth. This is where it's at, and I just want to encourage everyone to get with it. With that, I'll say shalom.
All right, shalom. Mitzil, any last words?
Wow, man. One, I want to thank you sincerely for allowing a bunch of eggheads to get geeked out over grammar. But I want to say that you guys belong. When you see this group of brothers doing this from the diverse backgrounds from which they come, I wish we would have had, some of the sisters out here. I think that the nature of the forecast kind of makes people not really want to be a part of this particular discourse. But I think when it was all done and said, it was quite sterile, even at the risk of being boring. But it was marvelous in its presentation. And what I want people to know is that they can belong. I mean, the idea that people say that, oh, you sound like an Edomite. What the hell does an Edomite sound like? You associate education and scholarship with melanin deficiency. I mean, to me, that is the quintessence of self-hatred, and so there's a way to heal self-hatred, and I get it. I understand the imposition of being institutionalized. They take you at a very early age, and they start diagnosing you with ADD or whatever, and they try to give you a bunch of medicine, and then they try to, give you the public school to prison pipeline system, right? And so your earliest recollections of academia were all negative. So you hate academics because it was your first look at being institutionalized. It was the first thing to abuse you on an institutional level. So I get it. All things academic are painful and traumatic, but it doesn't have to be that way. And learning for yourself and understanding methodology allows you to escape and heal from the trauma of the ravages of the public school system. You can belong. You can go to Johns Hopkins. You can go to Harvard. You can go to University of Chicago. You belong. You can be in these classes. You can apply for loans and grants, or mostly grants, or pay out of pocket. You can be there. You can know all these terms. You can say these things. You've seen people and heard people that look like you do this. And so if people that look like you, sound like you, can do this. And like I said, this is without respect to gender, because, we got Shanti that's banging this thing out 6 ways from Sunday, and we had another sister at Duke that was doing this. So it's not like sisters aren't doing this. Sisters are doing this, big and bad and real. So I want you to know that you belong. We don't do this to try to make you feel like you're lesser or you don't belong. We do this so that you know with certainty and surety that you belong. You can be at these institutions. You should be filling up these seats. There's no reason why people should be dropping the class because they feel like they don't belong. You can do this. So, again, thank you, Sal, and thank you guys. I appreciate all of your hard work. And for all you guys listening, you belong.
All right, Shalom. Let's go to Yochanan in the last word.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, Sal. First and foremost, I want to give honor to the Creator of heaven and earth. He that causes all things to exist. I also want to extend a very humble thank you to you for having us on your show. Like Ms. said, this is definitely different from any show that you would normally do. And yeah, we are just nerds that really get into this. But all of us can do this, and all of us should be shown to do this. If you subscribe to, if you say you're an Israelite, then you should speak after the language of the Israelites. That sets cultures apart. It would be strange to meet a Chinese person that doesn't speak Chinese. So if you say you're Israel, take back your culture, take back your identity, if that's what you feel it is. We should be pursuing these things. We should be pursuing knowledge and understanding of what the forefathers of Israel left behind. We should be seeking those things. And myself, I'm only 9 months into this, which is amazing to me. And I say Todah Yah for being able to meet Mitch, for being able to, me and Pinkney started this journey. We started in English as well, and reading the English and using for most important, we realized that some things just did not line up, some things did not add up, and we knew that we had to pursue the language in order to dig deeper and to go further into this. So if we can do it, you can do it as well. We had the sister at Duke University for the Roof Project a few weeks ago. She was very new to Hebrew, and I'm thinking that she had minimal exposure. In 2 days, she was reading the text. It's doable. You can do it. You just have to commit your time to it. Commit your time to it, and commit your energy to it. Commit your all to it, to finding out what this book is actually saying to you, not and not relying on a translation that somebody else gave to you. That's really key, and that's really important. So, again, I thank you for the opportunity. We can definitely strive to do better. We can have scholars. We do have scholars. When I say scholars, I mean real accredited scholars, not people who say that they're scholars, but real accredited scholars. We do have them in this movement. We should strive to have more. We should strive to, when we do go on other shows that are outside of the normal base of things that we do, that we shine and that we don't embarrass this movement. That's whether you're Tanakh only or whether you're in the New Testament as well. We should be striving for excellence. If you're in the New Testament, you should learn to speak Greek. I'm gonna be completely honest. I really don't care what a person believes, but I do feel like if you're going to believe it, you should pursue that with scholarship and not just based on emotion and what you call a spiritual hunch or feeling. So again, Sal, I thank you. To the brothers, to the Paradigm crew, we'll definitely be chopping it up here real soon and back into the book to learn. So again, Todah, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon. Shalom.
All right, Todah, shalom. Rob, brother named Rob, you still there? Yeah, go ahead. Last word.
Shalom, I'm still here. I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our skill set, and I hope that this has touched the listeners. Motivate them to want to learn the language. I can't express the importance. The only thing that I can say is just learn the language, and you'll see the importance.
We got
all right, shalom. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, shalom, Mark. You want to hear me?
Yep. You got.
Okay. Kind of. I just want to Tuda Rabbi, the Most High Yah. Tuda Yah, our teacher, Mrs. Tuda Yah, Shayl. Just Tuda Yah, everybody, even the listeners. Definitely encouragement to learn the biblical Hebrew. And I just want to read some to the listeners what a good teacher we have and what it did for me. The book of Isaiah, chapter 53, Korios tis pato ti himan. That's Greek from the Septuagint. That is verse 1. But this is the skill set that our teacher blessed us to give us the skill to put in the work. So I encourage you, brothers, if y'all going to read for those books, understand the language before you put some out there, because you don't know who's on social media and what background they come from. That will ask you not to make you feel bad, just to parse it out, break it down. That's one thing our teacher teaches us. If you put it out there, whatever language, be able to break it down for the people. So Tuda Yah and Tuda Yusai and Tuda Rabbi for the Paradigm crew, and Tuda Yah for Mr. L, our teacher. I decreased.
Is that everybody?
Good. I think it's everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
So is that everybody?
All right, well, definitely appreciate all the brothers on the panel. We definitely got to do this again. Just let me know whenever you guys are ready to come back on the platform, and we'll definitely set this up one more time. All right, guys, so we're going to see you guys on Thursday. Take care, and God bless.
2017, Big Truth, the big talk for you. What up? Shout out Abo King, Big Boo, me. Shout out everybody. Check it. Hey yo, debate talk 4. You so you can absorb information free of charge so you can afford. Get poppin', live off the greatest doctrine. Sip the juice, know the ledge like the great Rakim. On a mission, not a small time thing. Defense biblical, offense got the haters watching. Hands are skill, footwork is ill. Get in the den, see if you can stand for real. If you rep Kim and Cool, yo I rep Israel. If you Torah based only or new as well, welcome to listen. Style always fair decision. Two sides come together to compare what's written. Seeking the facts, seeking the max, teaching the acts, leaking the tracks. Call while you eating your